What if I told you that right now in 2026, you could buy a private estate with 85 feet of private water access to the Potomac River and a castle-style mansion that's over 16,000 square feet of living space in one of the most powerful zip codes in the United States for only $17 million? And what if I told you that that price is almost certainly below what the property is actually worth? I'm Akil Atkins with the Air Group and Keller Williams, and today we're talking about one of the most interesting properties I've ever analyzed, and that's 612 Rivercrest Drive in McLean, Virginia. Now, before we get into the numbers, and we will get into the numbers, let me paint you a picture. McLean, Virginia is not a famous city to most in the world, but if you run in very specific circles, foreign embassies, defense contracts, and Fortune 500 C-suites along with tech executives or State Department appointees, you know McLean is where the powerful live. Langley, the home of the CIA, is literally a 4-minute drive from this property. The Pentagon is 13 miles away, and Tyson's Corner is one of the top retail and commercial hubs on the East Coast and is less than 5 miles out. This is not a random luxury property. This is a trophy asset in a location that has never lost relevance. Now, let's walk through what $17.2 million actually buys you here, because the specs are extraordinary. We're talking about a 4-story estate built in 2008 with 3-inch thick solid stone construction. Not a stone veneer, not a stone facade, actual castle masonry. The moment you arrive, a 14-foot carved mahogany door opens into a reception hall that's finished in Calcutta gold marble imported directly from Italy. This is the kind of entry that ambassadors build. From there, you have that 16,000 square feet that's spread across 4 stories, including an elevator that connects every floor, along with a grand ballroom level with panoramic Potomac River views that you cannot replicate anywhere else in McLean. The kitchen is exactly what you'd expect at this tier: an oversized statement island, premium appliances, direct water views, and a chef's setup that rivals a 5-star restaurant. The primary suite has its own fireplace, a private sitting room, and a spa-caliber bathroom. And we have to keep coming back to these sweeping river views that you can wake up to every single morning. Now, if we go down to the amenity floor, you've got an indoor pool, full spa, sauna, steam room, fitness area, and 2 home theaters. That includes poolside cinema from a floating projector. This is on 1.2 acres on the Potomac with no HOA. Tell me you can beat that. Now, here's where it gets interesting for anyone thinking about this as an investment. And trust me, if you're watching this video, you should be thinking about this as an investment. This property was originally listed at $22 million. The seller has taken nearly $5 million off the list price to get to that ask of $17.2 million today. And they adjusted the price again to reflect a recent bank appraisal. That means that an independent financial institution looked at this property in 2026 and determined that $17.2 million is its current market value. The seller isn't holding out for a dream number. They're asking exactly what the bank said it's worth. That's a very different conversation than most luxury listings. What's even more significant, there's also seller financing on the table, and it's not a basic offer. They're literally willing to carry financing at rates as low as 1.9% for a qualified buyer. So at a time when jumbo mortgage rates are hovering around 7%, that differential is worth over $500,000 per year, be that in carrying cost savings or tax savings, especially on a property this size. If you're a foreign national, a corporate entity, a high net worth individual who wants to preserve liquidity while acquiring one of the most defensible real estate assets in the capital region, this financing structure is flawless. Now, let me give you some market data. The McLean zip code is 22101. This zip code has shown consistent appreciation over time. The current median home prices in this zip code are running over $2 million. And then there's a key statistic for an investor. McLean's luxury tier and the top 10% of the market has historically outpaced the general market appreciation because of what drives demand here. It's not speculation, it's geography. You cannot build another property with 85 feet of waterfront on the Potomac River in McLean. The river's not expanding and the land isn't expanding. This lot is irreplaceable. When supply is permanently constrained and demand is driven by institutional and government diplomatic activity, the floor value is very, very high. So, what does this look like in 10 years? Based on conservative annual appreciation rates of 4 to 5%, which is actually below the historical average for this zip code in strong marketing cycles, a $17.2 million asset grows to between $25 and $28 million by 2036. At a more robust 6% annual rate, which this zip code has hit in multiple 5-year stretches, you're looking at a projected value approaching $31 million. And those projections do not account for capital improvements, any appreciation premium from the riverfront position becoming increasingly rare, or any upward pressure from the continued expansion from the DC metro economy and the federal government footprint. Now, I want to speak directly to our international viewers for a moment here, because this property has a very specific profile that I see as pretty compelling for foreign buyers. The United States capital region is one of the most politically and economically stable real asset markets in the world. McLean specifically has the highest concentration of diplomatic, intelligence, and government-adjacent households in the country. It's not a beach town that fluctuates with tourism. This is a year-round, institutionally supported market. Owning here is a long-term store of value in the world's reserve currency, in a neighborhood that has housed cabinet members, ambassadors, and heads of state for decades. If you are exploring pathways for investment-based immigration or simply want to establish a U.S. asset base with a property that carries genuine prestige, international liquidity, and extraordinary livability, this is the conversation to have. The seller financing available here also creates a structured acquisition pathway that many foreign buyers find more accessible than the traditional U.S. mortgage qualification requirements. I've analyzed a lot of luxury real estate in this market, and I represent buyers across McLean, Reston, Alexandria, Great Falls, Falls Church, all through Northern Virginia and the DC metro region. And what I can tell you is this: properties with irreplaceable waterfront positions, solid stone construction, 4-story amenity package, and approvable bank appraisal at the asking price do not stay on the market forever. The buyer who moves on 612 Rivercrest in 2026 is going to be talking about this acquisition for the rest of their life. If you are a high net worth buyer, an investor, or an international buyer's representative, or simply someone who's interested in investing in the ultra luxury metro area, please give me a call directly. My name and information is below. I specialize in connecting exceptional properties with exceptional buyers, and I'd love to walk you through this one personally. If this video gave you a new perspective on the McLean market or on luxury real estate investing in Northern Virginia, hit subscribe. I release market breakdowns, neighborhood deep dives, and investment analysis like this regularly. Leave a comment below if you have any questions about this property, and we'll see you on the next one.